Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about something that's kind of related to the last video, social media related, but what I want to get into today is not really about my relationship with social media, but more so kind of focusing on short form content and what that does to you and how cutting that out of my life has affected me in a positive way. So yeah, let's jump right in. So the first thing I really want to get into is what short form content does to your brain. I saw a video on this, I want to say like 5 months ago, and it really shocked me and kind of scared me. It scared me out of watching short form content, so I really think it's important information to know. But essentially, short form content is anything that's like 30-minute, 1 minute, 30-second, 1 minute video long stuff, that you're just scrolling through on Reels or even YouTube Shorts or whatever. So every time you scroll into a new video, that video elicits an emotion out of your brain. Whether it's a happy video, a sad video, funny, cringe, whatever. Every single video elicits an emotional response from your brain. And every time that happens, your brain releases a chemical. So, normally when we're going about our day-to-days, that occurrence is much slower and develops properly, which is why we're equipped to deal with things sufficiently in most cases. But when you're doom scrolling, like let's say for an hour or two, I'm sure we can all relate, but you kind of have this brain fog and you just feel foggy and dull. And that's because your brain is genuinely exhausted from all of the chemicals it's been producing from so many different emotions. I mean, if you're scrolling for like an hour or two, that's easily like 30, 60 videos, and that's 30, 60 emotions. So when your brain keeps releasing chemicals for emotions like that, it gets used to everything being fast. So I noticed when I was, doom scrolling a lot, whenever something stressful or tense would happen, I would not really handle it so well. I would kind of fold under the pressure because my brain wasn't used to processing emotions for that long. So that was something that really genuinely scared me and made me kind of look into myself a bit more and how this content's affecting me. And the next thing it does, this is pretty obvious. I'm sure this isn't news to anyone, but of course, since you're consuming all this content at 30-second, 1 minute bites, your attention span heavily goes down. So, I remember I'm someone who really enjoys watching movies and TV shows and getting invested in those. And, when I was younger, I would always make fun of my family members or friends who wouldn't be able to sit through something without going on their phone and doing something, scrolling. And I remember, I think this was back in like November, I was house sitting for my uncle, didn't really have much to do, so I was like, okay, I'll start a new show. And I genuinely couldn't watch the show like without being on my phone the whole time. And it kind of hit me because I was talking to a friend who says the show is really good, and I was like, yeah, it's good, but it's a little overrated. And he even asked me, he's like, were you on your phone like watching it? I was like, yeah. He goes, okay, well, if you actually put your phone down and pay attention, I think you would see the show differently and really appreciate it more. And once I did that, he was totally right. I did. So it totally harms your attention span. And I remember I couldn't even go on YouTube and watch like a 5-minute video without like swiping out, or I would have the video kind of in the top right corner while I'm scrolling through YouTube looking for another interesting video. I couldn't focus on anything. It totally robs you of your attention span, which is genuinely terrifying. You become kind of a zombie who's unable to focus on anything. I also felt a lot lazier and unmotivated and just slower in general. And when I thought about, I'll delete Instagram or whatever, all these excuses immediately popped into my head that I've heard other people say, like, oh, well, it's my main way of staying up to date with things. It's my main news source. Or it's how I stay in contact with people, or I won't be able to keep up with, sports or whatever. And it's just excuses. I mean, I'm guilty of this too. Like, it's normal to think those things, but at the end of the day, is that stuff really worth harming your brain in that way for an extended period of time? And to me, eventually, the answer was no. It's not worth it. But since I've stopped, I've noticed a lot of differences in my day-to-day and my perception. So I started by taking the Instagram app off of my hotbar to get out of the habit of it, and I just stopped opening the app. I didn't actually delete it, which for some of you might be better, but it is kind of, I will acknowledge, it's kind of a hard thing to do. So I ended up going on YouTube, but then there was the shorts. But finally, I figured out a way on YouTube you can actually turn shorts off. So once I stopped, watching reels, got out of the habit of short form content, I noticed a lot of differences. I mean, for one, my attention span came back, and I could actually focus on things for an extended period of time, noticeably a lot better than I had previously. And my mind feels a lot clearer, and I don't need constant stimulation at all times. And another thing is that even with my relationship with my girlfriend, I became better at handling complex issues between us. I just started handling things better, and with a more clear head. It's a little hard to fully describe, but once you stop, you'll see noticeable changes in yourself, and I definitely think it's worth looking into for sure. And I mean, another thing is, I feel like I got some of my individuality back. I wasn't so preoccupied doing this mind-numbing activity for so long. Granted, I've gotten to the point where I still have the Instagram app, and I can download it, or I can go onto it and watch maybe a reel or two and pull myself out. But 6 months before that, I definitely wasn't able to do that. I get caught in a loop, and next thing you know, I've been scrolling for 30 minutes, which felt like 5 minutes. And it's kind of a scary thing. It makes the time go by so fast, and you're doing something so mind-numbing. It's really bad for you. Now, this isn't something that's relatable to everybody, but sometimes I would have anger issues, and once I stopped doom scrolling, I didn't have those emotional outbursts anymore, and now I have way more control over my emotions, and I can talk myself down. And to be honest, when I heard these things, I did not think there was a correlation, and now that I've stopped and seen the difference, I know there's a correlation, and it's scary because it just sucks people in, and especially if younger people in their teens are getting into this stuff. I mean, it's even more dangerous for them, because young people are already developing, growing up, going through puberty, and this whole short form content stuff, what it does for their non fully developed brains. It's very scary stuff. And the reason why I'm making this video is just because I think it's something people should be made aware of. I wasn't aware of this before I saw that one video. And I think, a lot of us, we want to do things that are best for us. We want to do things that are healthy for us. So, if you didn't know that this was bad for you, or exactly how it affected your brain, I hope this video could offer you some insight for that, and maybe just help you take a step in a direction to be more healthy mentally. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about today, just to spread some awareness, give you my experience with it, and how it's helped me, see if maybe it'll help you make a change. But I would love to hear in the comments if you weren't aware of this, or if you personally stopped doom scrolling, and how that's changed you, how that's helped you. Love to have some feedback on your guys' perspective and experience with it all. But that's going to do it for today, guys. Thanks for listening, and drop a like if you enjoyed, and if you like content like this, please subscribe. It means a lot to me. But anyways, thank you so much, guys, and I hope you have a great day. Take care.